welcome back to the High Voltage Minecraft server. This is the Captain speaking, and today I'm going to give everybody a tour of my personal base here on the server. So if you've watched any of my videos so far, you've seen a few of the other builds on the server, including the spawn town, the Nether hub, our team headquarters, and then the builds of two of my friends, Paperheart and Cave Knox. So you come out of my portal here. You actually face the wrong way when you come out. Down there's a build in progress I'll show a little later. But when you turn around, you can see this road. It connects over to my base, and this road then connects further over with the rest of my my teammates' builds in our headquarters. So the next person on the road is Cave Knox and his Flying Islands. Then headquarters, and then Paperheart and Coco are on the other side of that. So to facilitate horse travel, I've got a little stables built here. You managed to get here by horseback. It's one of the first things you see. You can hitch it up if you've got a leash, or park them in one of these little stables. Unfortunately, I've gone ahead and filled it up with all of my own horses, but you can always just tuck another one in with them. So next to it here, this is the first build I did on the server, and it's just a simple wall, and I've nicknamed it Project Western Gateway. So as you might recall from my first video, I mentioned there is a safe build limit of 1,000 blocks in all directions from spawn, which is roughly, spawn is roughly 0, 0. So if I bring up F3 here, you can see my X coordinate is negative 998, negative 999. So for a long time, the world border was actually on this block right here, just on the other side of my wall. And I built this so that I could have a reminder to myself that once the border had moved to its new home 4,000 blocks away, or I guess that's another 3,000 blocks from here, that this was kind of the limit for the safe building zone. So I would make sure to not build over on this side. Now, since we've had a few map trims already, it seems like the actual safe build limit is actually about 1,024. So around here is where the actual cutoff line is. I don't really feel like moving my wall though, so it's gonna stay where it is, and maybe I can fill in some of this huge opening here and make it a little more safe to actually use my gateway. I was waiting for a long time for the border to jump from the 1,000 to the 4,000, so this is kind of like my gateway to the west. I was waiting to open up for a long time so I could go have some adventures and see some new terrain. So that's pretty cool. One of the next things I built on this server was this bridge, which I'm pretty happy with. It's a diagonal build, so it was difficult to do, but I'll show you a bit later. You can really appreciate it, a view from the water. So my base is that. It's a giant, like, derpy purple tower. I really didn't mean to build something like that, but I fell in love with the landscape. When I first saw this, it's kind of like a stone mountain thing that sticks out of the ocean, and there's another little one in the front. And I thought it'd be really cool to build on, so I had to wait a few days for our border to move out before I could get to it, because our border didn't start at 1,000 blocks. It started closer in and moved a little bit hour by hour or day by day. So when I first saw this place, actually the border was about where that little sand island is. So I waited for quite a long time to see if this would actually be in the build limit, so I was happy that it was. So this is what I call my western watchtower. I'll just go in. You might be able to hear. Did you hear that? I have doorbells set in, so I know when people come in to visit me. I'm not much of an interior decorator. I may have to get Paperheart to help me out with that, but this is the main floor. You come in, it's pretty empty. I've got a lot of torches I could probably soon take down. I've got actual lighting. A couple paintings. I haven't filled this in yet. This used to be the way up and down. I have a storage and work area below. I'll show you right now. I just recently moved my down mechanism here. It was originally these stairs. They would pull down and pull in. It was a bit of a pain to use, and this was my way back up anyway, so I just reworked some of the redstone wiring, and I have a way down and a way up right here. So you hit this button and you fall down, and this is my storage area. It's one of the more neatly organized storage areas I've ever done, so I'm pretty proud of it. I've got labels and everything. I use signs instead of the item frames, because item frames cause a little bit too much lag. I've also got just miscellaneous storage here. I've also got a really cool thing I'll show you. It's a automatic ender pearl dispenser, so you hit the button and it gives you 14 ender pearls. I couldn't quite get it wired to give out 16 at a time, but it's a pretty quick way. I also don't have an automatic refill, so from time to time I actually have to grab some ender pearls and put them back. But still, if you just want to grab just about a stack of ender pearls, you can hit the button and go. It's pretty cool. So out here I've got another little opening. This is more or less the natural terrain down here. Well, obviously the stone is, but this stuff not so much. I've got simple hopper refillers for my furnaces. I don't have hoppers leading out of the furnaces because I tend to grab the iron as I go, and that way I can get the experience too. Simple little brewing setup and stuff. This ladder was part of my original way down, so that leads into my main floor. And this comes down to the work area. That's how I used to get up and down. And this is a separate little stone outcropping that existed here. I hollowed it out a bit, but it's mostly still the original landscape. You can tell where I've added on. It's where the cobble starts. So yes, I added a little balcony out here to see. I'm going to eventually put a village down there. So that's that. I'll show you the way back. Oh, yeah. Before I show you the way back up. So this is a simple slime launcher. It shoots you up back through the hole you came down. I'll show you some of the wiring really quickly. So it's pretty simple. I've got the redstone repeater set to a delay for the slime launcher. So the ceiling actually opens first. So it opens, then you launch up, and it's timed so that the piston closes before you fall back down, so it catches you up there. And it's all on the same circuit, so this goes up, and I've got the redstone torches here to take it the rest of the way to the second piston. So I'll show you how this works. You hit the button, you go up, and it catches you. I've tried a few different slime elevator techniques in this build, so each floor has kind of a different one, and for the most part this seems to be the best. It's the least affected by lag, and it's the most effective to use. So if you're thinking of building a slime elevator system, I recommend you look at trying to do that. I've also since replaced the one at the town hall in Spawn with one of those mechanisms. Okay, so this is the second floor. This will probably eventually be kind of like my war room. I've already got a karate picture up, and this is a copy of the Spawn map. I copied it map per map and then reconstructed it here. I've got a guest suite in through here. This I built with Paper Heart in mind, if she ever wants to set her spawn here, or just needs a place to retreat to if she's helping me decorate. Simple little kind of balcony up here with the books. I was thinking of putting like a little sitting area in here, but I'm not sure I'll have the space because it's only too wide. it's mostly just for, you know, a little bit of looks on the other side, on the outside here. Okay, so this goes into my bedroom area. This is the secondary little spire. When I first saw it, I decided I wanted this to be where I'd put my bedroom, so that's what's upstairs. Down here I've got a study, I've got a few records and a record player. Up here is my bed. I can set my spawn. Got a nice few windows. I decided I wanted purple windows in this build because my birthday's in February, so amethyst is my birthstone, and I feel like purple gets a bad rap for being an overly feminine color, so I decided I'd use it. It looks good with the stone and the andesite, I think. So the next slime elevator I have is this one. It's a simple piston mechanism with a trapdoor. This one seems to be the least affected by lag because there's no secondary mechanism, but it's a little bit of an annoyance if you forget to open the trapdoor before you try to launch yourself. That said, if you have good timing, you can actually close the trapdoor on your way up and you don't have to worry about trying to move forward. So that one requires a little more skill to use, and it's not as affected by lag, but I ultimately find the one up from my storage area to be a better system. Another empty floor here. Again, I need some interior decorating. I might turn this into like a library enchanting area or something like that. Not really sure just yet. And another slime mechanism. This slime mechanism is the same one as the elevator I tried to build at Team West headquarters. So what it does is it launches you up, and then the second piston launches you over, so you clear the main hole and don't fall back down. Now the problem with this, especially on a multiplayer server, is the lag. So let's see if it works the first time here. Okay, so I got lucky this time. More often than not, it kind of rubber band back, so you think that this piston has pushed you forward, and the next thing you know, you're down here again. So for that reason, this one is it's fine in single player, but again, in multiplayer, it's not very practical. And if you're trying to do a slime elevator where this is your mechanism and you have, I don't know, a sequence of 5, 10, or even 20 of these, it's going to mess up at some point before you reach the top. But for single use, it works more often than not, but it's still not quite as effective, I find, as my one from my storage area. So I've got an open room here and some stairs. This was too tall of an area to bother with a slime elevator, so I just built some stairs. And this is kind of just a big open room. And this is the reason why I actually built a tower here. And I'll show you what it does in a second. But first, you can see Paper has given it her official Derp approval. Paper's a big fan of the slime launchers, and this is effectively what this is a large slime launcher. But it's not like some of the other slime launchers that I've built on the server. This one is specifically to fire boats. And I'll show you where it goes. So again, you hop in a boat, and it pushes you up, and it throws you at this hole. You fly, you actually clear, that's my bedroom, and land in the water below safely. I decided I wanted to build a launcher that faced this direction, so I had to build a little higher than I wanted to. Because if it's even just a few blocks lower, you don't end up clearing the roof for my bedroom, and I've died once or twice on a few testing runs. So yeah, this was kind of like the minimum safe height to consistently launch from. So I ended up building kind of a tower. And if you don't happen to have a boat on you, if you're just here for a visit, you can press one of these two buttons. I've got two droppers with boats in them. You don't have to be in a boat to launch either. You're safe if you stand just on it with your boats are far more cool to launch. So I'll show you that in a second. It's kind of the raison d'etre for my build. Here I've kind of got a saucer-shaped observatory. It's mostly just a house, which is the faster way down if you don't want to mess around with a boat launch. So you hit this button here, and this opens up. So again, this is the same mechanism I used to have in my my stairs. Pistons pull down, and then pistons pull in, and you got a straight shot straight to the water. So that's the express route down. I've got a doorway carved out here. I haven't built anything out there yet. I'm not sure quite what I want to build, but I think at some point it'd be nice to have something in each direction. This is my return. So at the bottom I've got a setup to bring boats up. So you float up all the way and you get out here. It's super convenient if you just want to mess around with the boat launcher. And I'll show you that again in a little bit. The other thing you might have noticed is this this ladder here. This goes up to just a little area again. This is where I have my beacon set up, and the purple block to turn it into a nice purple beam that shoots into the sky. Unfortunately, my beacon's too high to be overly useful for mining and stuff with haste, but it's mostly decorative anyways, and I do have the materials if I wanted to build another beacon for work purposes. So I'm going to show you the boat launcher now. This is really the best part of my build. So if you want to launch a boat, you have to place it on the outside block. If you just want to launch without a boat, you actually stand on this inside block. So you get in the boat. I'm going to line up here. I'm going to show you from this perspective what it looks like. So you hit the button, it pushes you up and it pushes you out. You can see where we came from, you can see where we're going, and that's all it does. But it's a really cool way down, and it looks hilarious. If you're watching through one of the windows, you can see it looks like a person's just nonchalantly sailing through the air in a boat. It's pretty cool. So my little saucer observatory looks kind of strange and a little out of place, but that's kind of what I wanted to do with this build. I wanted something that wasn't quite so nice and symmetrical. So I don't mind having an odd thing stick out there. I don't want to try, again, I don't want to be symmetrical, so I don't want the same thing coming out the other side. So I've got to try to figure out what I want to build on this side. And you can see the view of my bridge and the towers. I think it looks really cool. You get over here a little bit, and you can see the secondary tower that attaches behind the bridge, both above and below, and that gives you a really cool sense of how 3D it is, and how kind of intricate it is. I think it looks really cool. That might just be me, though. I don't know. Again, somebody was visiting and threw a lot of chicken eggs around, so I got some chickens of the sea hanging out with me. So this is my my return mechanism. It's a little boat elevator I built. I affectionately call it the Jenga tower because it kind of looks like a game of Jenga when you get going. So if you saw the episode where I showed off Paper Heart's underwater dome that I've helped her build, you've probably seen the mechanism I use for this. It's a simple slime piston system, and it shoots you up into the water, and then the boat, of course, floats to the top. So for this one, I added a couple of source blocks on each side. So when the pistons fire, the slime occupies this space that's water, and it still effectively launches you. And then when the pistons retract, these source blocks fill all this back in, and it sets back to normal. So you notice I took my helmet off. That's to show you that even without respiration. It's a safe boat ride for anybody. So when you get yourself positioned, more or less in the center, what you do is you hit either one of these buttons on the side, and it pushes you up. You get a nice little speed boost when you start to help you along. At this point, it's more or less just the regular speed. And you get to the top, and you still have the 2 bubbles of air left, so you don't have to worry about suffocating or drowning. And you can hop out of your boat. That's why this part's half slabs, or I guess just slabs. You don't have to call them half slabs. It helps with the boat, so the boat's actually like half on it, and you can just break it and not have to worry. Before I replaced these blocks, they were regular blocks. I had a lot of troubles with the boat breaking, so replaced them with slabs, and it just made everything that much more smooth and good to go. Okay, so now I'm back up at the top again. You come in through here, and this is where my main room is, and that's my patented boat launcher. So that's really cool. If I just want to mess around, I can just launch and pop up the elevator and do it all again. If I'm working on a project and I have to come up for something, I don't want to mess around with boats, I can just, again, stop in this blue clay block, hit this button, and I'll show you what that's like. And you just fall safely to the water. So that's the primary features of my base that I've got going on. I'll probably add a few more at some point. The only other thing that's worth showing is I have a little mining and farming operation. So I'm just going to show you the farm operation quickly. I don't think I have to worry about the mining. You guys have all seen a mine in Minecraft, I'd hope. So a couple of rows of potatoes and some wheat. I've got sugarcane here. Got it set up so I have the button, and I can pick up 6, 12. Right, because there's 6 and there's 2 rows. My mistake. Either way, I made sure to plant multiple of 3 so that if I want to turn it into paper, I don't have any surplus sugar cane just laying around. So there are a few more things down here to show you. I'm only going to show one more today, and the other one I'll show off probably in the next video. So I just came up here so I could get a good bounce. So a single bounce from here brings me to where I want to be. So this was an abandoned mine shaft I found. One of the probably dozens at this point. Of course, it's adjacent to my base, so I found this one early. So it's long since been cleared out. But when I found it, it also happened to have a zombie spawner. And as you can tell, this isn't a mob or an XP grinder. There's no water running. So you might wonder what I've got it for. So I've got a simple lights on, lights off mechanism. I can make it dark in there whenever I want. You might have heard that. If not, you're probably wondering what the zombie's walking towards. So down here, I've got a villager I've cured. And he's a Fletcher. What was this? Neat. I didn't know that. Didn't know I'd wired that up. So either way, what I can do here now is I can open this door, and you'll see the zombie will go in. Make sure he goes in. I can close the door behind him. So now I've got a zombie right there. He wants to get at his pal. So ideally, what I want to do with this, I want to use this to catch zombie villagers. So now just imagine this guy's a villager. I could throw the weakness potion at him, and I can cure him. And then once that's done, I'm going to set up a water elevator system here, and I can launch the button. Oops. Huh. I may have to work on that a bit. Either way, I'm going to set it up so that the slime will launch him into a water elevator, and I can take him to the surface, and eventually I can populate the village when I have it built. So that's really cool. I'm going to have to kill this guy, though. So I do have a few other safety features. Again, I keep the door closed unless I want them. But I've also got a kill switch. If I get a lot of zombies and none of them are villagers, I can just pop that lever and lava will fall on down. So that's my mad sciencey build for the server on this season. I haven't cured any other zombie villagers yet, but I'm hoping to do so once I get the village built a bit, and I want to populate it. So what I'll do next is I'll show the area that I'm going to turn into the village, and that'll probably be it for today's server tour. This will probably be the last episode, unless people want to see some of the other bases around. I love that. That's the best. And this too. Alright. So I'm going to hop on horseback for this, I think. Make it just a little more quick. I may have to build a secondary bridge here at some point to connect down, because it's kind of a pain to go from my storage area and back if I need to grab something. This guy's pretty good, I think. Close that just in case. And away we go. Okay, this guy's not as quick as I thought he was. So again, this road goes off to the rest of Team West. And eventually we're going to connect it, I think, to Iron Ford, which is at spawn. I've also got it going this way. I'm going to build roads through my village. So this was just a forest I cleared out quickly. That's a pretty basic mob grinder. It's a simple fall trap activated with water. That's actually not a bad haul for the amount of time I've spent around here. So the mechanism for this, it's a redstone timer, identical to the one I showed at the slime trampoline at Team West headquarters. This is the basic flow distribution that I have. So if you can imagine 2 blocks above that cobble's where my distributor is, it fires downwards, and this is the water powder that flows. I didn't mean to build a fountain here. I was just testing the flow mechanics, and I think that's a really good looking water fountain, so I'm probably going to make that a permanent feature. Maybe trade out the cobble for a nicer brick. What else? Oh, this! So eventually I want to disguise my mob farm, make it look a little prettier, so I've decided to build this around it. I'm kind of hoping I can turn it into something like a windmill, because I really liked the windmill at Ironford, so I might disguise it as that. The mob farm ended up being a lot larger than I meant, though, so this might end up being a lighthouse, which wouldn't be bad either. I'm hoping to have a little bit of a port town here in this bay, so a lighthouse might actually be fitting. You'll have to keep tuning in to see. It'll be a while before I get this project finished. So I think that's pretty much it. That's my base and one of my next projects that'll keep me busy for a little while. So thanks again for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you have any requests for something you'd like to see on the server, please let me know. Otherwise, thanks and have a good day. Bye now.